Welcome, everybody.
Welcome back to the football prediction with me and teacher Mark. It's now match day 23.
I know, season's going quickly.
Season's going quickly, and we've got some banging games happening this weekend.
I know, a lot of games going on. I'm excited. What did you think about the Champions League this week?
The Champions League this week.
Yeah.
Loads of things has happened, and one of them is a bad thing to my team.
I know. That Barcelona-Benfica game.
That was absolutely atrocious.
I know. At 70 minutes, Angel Di Maria came on. It was 4-2 Benfica. When he left, they'd lost 5-4. So, all right, let's get into the games, and let's just jump right into it. League leaders, top of the table, some solid wins recently. Liverpool back at Anfield, Premier League taking on Ipswich Town. What do you think about this?
Well, this game, Liverpool at Anfield.
Yep.
And probably the best they ever been in the previous year. And Arne Slot, fair play to him. He is very good. And the Champions League, good for you. You know, you beat Lille as well.
Yeah.
And Ipswich Town, they are in a pretty bad form right now. They've just lost to Man City 6-0 at home.
I know.
And this is at Anfield as well.
Yeah.
One of the toughest places to go and play football. I'm going for straight Liverpool to win here.
Yeah, I'm going for a Liverpool win. It's got to be a Liverpool win. They okay, so the first game this season was actually Matchday 1, and Ipswich played Liverpool pretty tough. It was 0-0 at halftime. Liverpool got a couple goals, won it 2-0 in the second half. Yeah, Ipswich Town right now, coming off that City loss, confidence is probably going to be a bit low. I don't think they'll be that bad against Liverpool. I think they'll hang in there, but I'm going to say 3-0 Liverpool.
3-0 Liverpool?
Yeah, Liverpool looks strong right now. That win against Brentford last weekend was massive. Not only did they win the game late, but they kept a clean sheet, which Liverpool hadn't done for a while. So that was a key win, and I think they'll push on here with 3 more points, stay top of the Premier League.
3-0 Liverpool.
3-0 Liverpool. Yep, that's
Agreed.
it. Salah should get a goal in this game, I think. Yeah, Salah did not play well against Brentford, but he came back and played very well against Lille. So, looking at some more afternoon fixtures. Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest. Forest absolutely flying right now. But Bournemouth, I mean, they're no chumps themselves. I mean, they're having a decent season. They've got some nice wins, Bournemouth do. What do you think about this one?
Well, every time I backed Bournemouth to lose, they did not lose. And they're an amazing streak right now. They haven't lost a game for like 7 games right now.
I know, they're on a roll.
They're on a roll. And then this game is going to be at the Vitality Stadium. At Bournemouth. The Cherries are going to come up with something in this game, to play with Forest, which is unexpectedly to be in the top 4 this season. And Nuno Espirito Santos is doing a pretty good job right now, but I just can't back Bournemouth to lose, man.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it happening.
I agree. I'm going to go for a draw in this game.
You go for a draw?
Yeah. If Nottingham Forest scores the first goal, they're almost impossible to beat. They're really, really strong when they get the first goal. And so many players are having great seasons. Alanga and Chris Wood and Martin Gibbs-White. The center backs are playing really, really well. So if Forest score first in this game, I think they'll win it. I think they will.
They'll win it?
They'll win it. I think Forest will win it, but I don't think they will. I think Bournemouth will score first. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw here.
A 1-1 draw?
Yep, I'm going 1-1 draw.
And that's a good shot.
That's it.
Because Bournemouth, they could be tough. Last time they go to St. James's Park, they beat Newcastle 4-1.
I know, they beat Newcastle. I mean, Bournemouth have beaten Newcastle, Man U, Spurs, Man City, Arsenal. Those are some solid wins. I mean, those are some top quality wins. And I think they'll get a result here, 1-1.
Yeah, I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
Oh, wow, there we go. Wow, 2 for 2.
Both teams to score.
Both teams to score. I like it. I like it. Brighton at home with Everton. Oh man. Everton, they got just what they needed last weekend with Spurs.
And he nailed it as well.
Yeah, I liked Everton in that game. They say anytime Dr. Tottenham comes to visit, that can cure any problem. If a team's struggling, if you're not scoring goals, if you're losing, just get a visit from Dr. Tottenham and you're going to get some goals.
Okay.
And that's what happened. Everton were cured.
So a special potion.
It's special potion.
Okay.
This one is going to be a bit tougher, and Brighton coming off of that smoke job of Man United, where they just made them look like chumps. Even though Everton will feel good about that win over Spurs, they'll be happy that they scored goals and Moyes is back. I got to go for a Brighton win this game.
You go for Brighton
win. Yeah. I do think Everton will hang in there, and it'll be a tight game, but I'm going to say 2-1 Brighton.
2-1 Brighton.
Yep.
that was actually a good pick. Brighton at home as well, and Everton. David Moyes, fair play to him. He beat Spurs.
Yep.
3-2.
Yep.
And this game, it's gonna be an away game, and that David Moyes likes to play a defending football.
Yep, he does. Moyes will have a game plan. I mean, Everton will hang in there. Like those days of like Everton with Sean Dyche, like not scoring any goals and looking bad, like those days are gone. Like Everton will be much better with David Moyes. Much. Okay. Still got to go for a Brighton win though.
I'm just gonna go for like 1-0 Brighton.
1-0 Brighton.
Yeah, that's it. 1 goal.
That's a good shot. I mean, Everton obviously they have a big problem scoring goals, so that could happen. 1-0. I'm gonna say 2-1 Brighton, but definitely a Brighton win.
Brighton to win.
Like it. Southampton at home with Newcastle. Newcastle were in top form before that game to Bournemouth last weekend. Things just didn't go their way. That's it. They battled, but they didn't go their way. And Bournemouth were a bit too good, but Newcastle come back. Easy 3 points for Newcastle.
Easy 3 points.
Easy 3 points. I'm gonna say 2-0 Newcastle.
2-0 Newcastle.
2-0 Newcastle.
Well, Southampton back at St. Mary's Stadiums.
Yep.
And last time, to be fair, they go to Nottingham Forest.
I know.
And they got 2 goals.
They were down 3-0.
And they made the end of the game very difficult for Forest.
I know.
They almost scored an equalizer.
I know
as well.
they did almost score an equalizer.
Yep.
I know. It shows that they haven't quit. That they're still battling. It's a very good sign.
It's a very good sign. And also sometimes you can see that Newcastle could be struggling on the road. So you know what? I think this is going to be the upset.
Going for a Southampton win.
I'm not going to go for the win, but I'm just going to go for like they could get something here.
Okay.
They could get a point in this game.
Possibly. So Southampton have 6 points. Mm-hmm. The all-time Premier League record for lowest point total in the season was Derby County. Derby County in the 2007-2008 season, Derby County got 9 points.
9 points.
I remember it. And Southampton obviously want to get past 9 points. Maybe they look at this as a game that they could get something from it. I do think Southampton are going to show up. Like this isn't going to be like a day at the beach for Newcastle. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a competitive game. I just think they got too much quality.
Too much.
Too much.
Well, I'm going for. You know what? I really want this game to have goals in it, but I think this could be a boring 0-0.
Boring 0-0.
Southampton.
Man, that's a bold statement because I mean both of these teams can score goals.
I know,
both of them can.
I know.
So you're going for a 0-0.
Yep.
Wow, okay. You heard it here. If that hit, if a 0-0 hit on this, those odds would be pretty sweet.
I know.
But I've got to go 2-0. I've got to go. Yeah, I've got.
All right.
2-0.
So you're back in Newcastle.
I'm back in Newcastle.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back in Newcastle. Finish it out those Saturday earlier games. Wolves at home with Arsenal. Mm-hmm. So Arsenal, man, they let one slip away last weekend with Villa. Mm-hmm. Gave up those 2 goals. Like Arsenal, everybody now knows, it's clear for everyone to see that Arsenal have a damn good team, but they're just not good enough.
Yep.
That's it. Like they're really, really good. They're really strong, but they just don't quite have it. Now, that could have something to do with the injuries. Obviously, Saka is their best player, and he's out, and he'll be out for a while. They've lost Jesus as well. Their defenders have been in and out for a while now with injuries. So injuries have played a part in it, no doubt. But I've got a feeling even if they were 100% fit and healthy, that Arsenal still would be missing something. Mm-hmm. Wolves with Pereira started out really, really well. They've kind of slipped back down a little bit, but that's to be expected. They're not that good, you know. They're more competitive though. What do you think about this game?
Well, this game, Wolves are at home at the Molineux Stadium.
At the Molineux, yep.
And you can see sometimes Arsenal are struggling in previous games. Like they've slipped against Villa. And you know, Wolves at home can be tough for them.
Could be.
Wolves has some talented players on their team, you know.
They do.
To give them some credits. Like they have a fair decent team.
Yep.
And they can put up against Arsenal. And Arsenal, with all those injuries players, they're going to miss them in this game. I'm going to go for another upset.
Upset?
Yes.
All right.
I'm going to say that this is it for Arsenal. I'm going for 2-1 Wolves.
2-1 Wolves. That would be a hell of an upset. I wouldn't be shocked to see Wolves get something out of this game. I wouldn't. I think it's a tricky matchup for Arsenal. I do. God, I think Arsenal might just nick it, though. A tough game. You said 2-1 Wolves. I'm going to say 2-1 Arsenal.
Slightly opposite. Yeah, but your pick's not a bad one. Okay, let me put it this way. I think that this game could be 1-1 with like 80 minutes to go, and then someone's going to get a winner. Yep.
I think it's going to be a really, really tight game.
But this is what I'll say. First goal is crucial in this game.
Yeah, I agree with that. First goal is crucial. Arsenal, they beat Zagreb in the Champions League 3-0 a couple days ago. That can give them some confidence. But yeah, I mean, they had that 2-2 with Villa. They also recently had a 1-1 away with Brighton. Back in December, they had a 1-1 with Fulham that was played away. They actually haven't lost a Premier League game in a really long time, but they've had a lot of draws, a lot. The last Premier League game they lost might have been about maybe 10 or 11 weeks ago. It's been a long time, but a lot of draws in there.
A lot of draws.
Yep, so I'm going to go for a slight Arsenal win.
I'm going for a Wolverhampton
Wolves win. Wolves win.
Wolves to win.
Game I want to talk about quite a bit, the late game here in Thailand.
Here we go.
On Saturday night, Sunday morning. Manchester City at home with Chelsea. Chelsea beat Wolves a couple days ago, back on track in the Premier League. Man City last week hammered Ipswich 6-0. Then things got ugly in the Champions League for Man City. Like, what do you think about the current state of Man City? What do you think about this game?
About this game?
This game and overall Man City, what's going on right now?
So, let's just talk about this game first.
Okay.
This game, I am pretty 100% confident that we're going to win.
Okay.
So we're at the Etihad Stadium, and Chelsea, lately, I don't know what happened to them, but things got turned around.
Yeah.
And this is Man City. We were starting to come back a little bit, but hey, so if we only focus on this game, on the Premier League, we're starting to bounce back a little bit. We're starting to get back on track. Everyone starts to tune up together. Erling Haaland's are back scoring goals in the Premier League. Foden, he's coming back. De Bruyne, okay, it might take some time because he's just come back from injuries. But Kovacic as well. He scored in the Ipswich game. He did quite well actually against Ipswich Town. And one thing I want to say that we're back.
We're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Man City are back.
We're back.
When you say we're back, does that mean like they're going to go on like a pretty long run of winning games in the Premier League?
We're back.
Oh gosh! All right, because they had that they. God, if they would have hung on and beaten Brentford, they gave that game away a couple match days ago, and it was a 2-2 draw. If they had beaten Brentford, I do think they would have won 5 straight in the Premier League. Instead, it's 4.
He's gonna knock down my
mic. Cat Club, baby. Instead, it's 4. But in their last. So what I'm saying is, out of their last 15 points available, they've won 13. 13 out of 15, which is a decent run, considering how bad that they were. So they are playing better in the Premier League. I think that, these two teams played Matchday 1. Man City won the game. That was at Stamford Bridge. That was a long time ago, 2-0. Chelsea are a much different team now, much better, much improved. I think there's going to be goals in this game. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draws?
I'm going for a 2-2 draw, yeah.
All right, even though he goes for a 2-2 draws.
Yeah.
Even though I go for Man City to win.
Yep.
But I still think that a good bet for this game is going to be both teams to score.
I agree. It's a great bet. Both teams are going to score in this game. Without a doubt, they're both going to score. And I think, I'm going to go for a 2-2 here. Okay, the new one that City just brought in, Omar Marmash. What do you think about him?
I've been watching some Bundesliga games. Yeah. And fair play, ladies and gentlemen. He is on fire. He's very good.
I know. He's banging the goals. He's one of the top goal scorers in all of Europe this season.
Yeah, he carried Eintracht Frankfurt as well this season.
Yeah, so it's a very good signing for Man City. I mean, they actually say that there's a chance. I think he might even play in this game.
Might even play.
Yeah, he's I guess it's quick and he's ready to go. Mascot. It's quick and he's ready to go. So if he's in there, that's going to help a lot.
Yeah.
Man City are spending money right now. They know that they're in trouble. I just think that this is a tough time and a tough matchup to play Chelsea. I'm going to say 2-2.
2-2?
2-2, yep.
I'm going for Man City to win.
Okay, and what do you think about the Man City? Okay, let me ask you this. Man City in the Champions League, are they going to pass to the next round?
Well, they're gonna do a playoff.
They've got to beat Club Brugge.
They're gonna beat Club Brugge.
If they don't beat Club Brugge, they're out. Sayonara. Adios. Yeah, I mean, you would think that they could beat them, though.
Okay, yeah, obviously. Yeah. All right, let's just talk real quick about the PSG games.
Okay, PSG game.
Okay, I've been looking some stats or some statistic before the game. Pep Guardiola against Luis Enrique. Pep has a very bad statistic against him.
He does.
Like he only won 2 games from 6 over Enrique.
I know.
And like this could be like a Dr. Spurs, like you said.
Dr. Spurs.
Dr. Spurs.
Just send in Pep.
Just send in Pep. Yeah. Or maybe like Brighton playing against Man U.
Yeah.
You know, both of these teams, they
Brighton do have a really good record against Man U.
Yeah, it's just
really
like that.
Good.
So
yeah.
I'm not surprised that could happen sometimes in football. I just hate it about it.
And what do you think Man City are going to finish top 4 in the Premier League?
Sure.
pretty sure. I do think they'll get top 4. I do. I mean, there's a lot of games left, and once we get into like April and May, like I think City will get on a roll. Like I think Man City they'll definitely finish top 4.
Sure,
they'll definitely finish
100%.
top 4. Okay.
By the way, 3-0 City.
3-0 City.
Yeah.
3-0.
Yeah.
I'm stunned.
I always go crazy with Man City, you know.
Okay, that's a bold statement. 3-0. Okay, let's. I can't see that.
You can't see
no,
that. Okay.
I can't. But I do see a very entertaining game. 2-2
goals in this game.
Goals. Moving on to Sunday games. Chelsea at home with Brent. Or pardon me, not Chelsea. I'm losing my mind. Crystal Palace at home with Brentford. Brentford coming off that awesome game with Liverpool where they played really, really well. They didn't create too much, but they had a game plan and they stuck to it. And because of that, they held in there for a long time. Liverpool finally got there at the end. What do you think about this one?
I got 2 opinions about this game. The first one is this game's going to be either a bunch of goals in it or no goals in this game. If it's going to be a low-scoring game, it's going to be like a 0-0. If it's going to be a high-scoring game, it's going to be like 4-3, 3-2. I can see that happened. But this game, Crystal Palace, they're at Selhurst Park.
Yeah. They have won 2 straight games.
Yeah.
They've beaten West Ham and Leicester City. More on Leicester City later.
More or less the city later.
So Palace are, they've won 2 straight in the Premier League, first time all season. Now Brentford. I mean, this is a tough game to call. It's a really tough game to call. I'm going to go for a draw on this one.
I know what I had in my mind.
What do you like?
I got one winner in this game.
Okay.
It's going to be Oliver Glasner's team.
Glasner, okay. If I had to pick a winner in this game, Brentford are really poor this season away from home. They're really, really poor. I'm gonna say 1-1. I'm going for 1-1 draw.
Go say 2-1 Palace.
2-1 Palace. That's it. Moving on.
Yep.
Tottenham, Leicester City. These are 2 teams that I'm happy they're playing this weekend because I want to talk a lot about this game.
Here we go.
What's going on?
Okay.
So first of all, what do you think about this? What do you think about this game, these teams, what's happening?
Well, this game, both of these team managers are in pretty hot seated right now.
Oh, God.
And, this team, Ruud van Nistelrooy, he came in November and now he wants to leave.
Well, Van Nistelrooy came in and he won his first game and then he had a draw.
Yeah.
And he hasn't won since then.
He's lost
7 straight games in the Premier League. 7 straight. It's a shocking collapse. I mean, obviously the players aren't maybe it's not the players that he's used to working with. It's not like the top players, but still 7 straight losses is shocking. And some of those are against teams that they should be beating. I know one of them was a loss at home to Crystal Palace. One of them was a loss at home to Fulham. And I mean, no, I'm not trying to take anything away from Palace and Fulham, but Leicester City, I would think at home would be able to at least get a draw in those games. But 7 straight losses. I think Van Nistelrooy has maybe 3 games left. If he loses his next 3 and they go 10 straight losses in the Premier League, he's sacked. He's sacked. Yep. Let me put it to you this way. He's lost 7 straight games. They sacked Steve Cooper after 12 games. In those 12 games that Steve Cooper had, he only lost 5 of them. So Steve Cooper only lost 5 games out of 12, and he got the sack. Van Nistelrooy's lost 7 straight. It's a shocking collapse.
I know.
Talking about Spurs now. What do you think about the Spurs situation?
Well, Ange Postecoglou, he had an ugly loss against Everton.
Ugly.
But hey, But
they won in the Europa League last night over Hoffenheim.
I mean, Hoffenheim in the Bundesliga, they really suck. I'm sorry, but they really are.
By the way, I just want to talk real quick about the Bundesliga. Like Hoffenheim is awful in the Europa League right now, and Leipzig. There's 36 teams in the Champions League. Leipzig haven't won a game. They're bottom of the table. What is going on with Germany?
I don't know.
Leipzig. I can't believe how bad Leipzig is in the Champions League.
I know.
It's shocking. This is a team that a couple seasons ago made the semifinals. That's how badly it's gotten. So that's another topic. Back to Spurs. I want to say a couple things about Spurs. We mentioned injuries a bit earlier with Arsenal. I've been hard on Spurs. I'm going to continue to be hard on Spurs, but their injuries are insane. Like they've lost both of their center backs for a long chunk of time, and that's had a big impact on them. They've lost 12 games in the Premier League. That's insane. The only teams that have lost more games than Spurs are Wolves, Southampton, and Ipswich Town are the only teams that have lost more games than Tottenham Hotspur. 12 losses. On the bright side for Spurs, I will say this. They are in 15th place in the Premier League right now. Shocking. They have 24 points, 15th place. You know what their goal differential is?
No idea.
Plus 10.
Plus 10?
Plus 10.
Jesus.
Yeah, plus 10. Let me put it to you this way. That goal a goal differential of plus 10, if you finish with a goal differential of plus 10, historically, that's good enough for the top 6 in the Premier League, historically. So Spurs aren't as bad. They're not as bad as their table spot suggests. Plus 10 goal differential, a lot of injuries. I think that there could become a time this season when Spurs kind of get things going a little bit. And I think this game, they're going to really hammer Leicester City. I'm saying 4-0 Tottenham.
4-0 Tottenham?
Yep, 4-0 Tottenham. Yep. I know I've been talking about Dr. Tottenham. This is because this is the
Dr. Tottenham.
This is the scenario. Because by the way, that Dr. Tottenham comes from there are 3 teams in the Premier League this season that picked up their first win against Spurs, and they were struggling. It was Wolves, Ipswich Town, and Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
All at the start of the season were losing games, and they picked up their very first win against Spurs.
Yeah.
Furthermore, last week in Everton in the last 11 games, Everton had scored 2 goals. They got 3 against Spurs. So Leicester City have lost 7 straight games. They're going to get a visit from Dr. Tottenham. He might have a cure for him, but I got a feeling this time it's not going to happen. I'm going for a 4-0 Spurs.
I can't see it.
Can't see it.
I can't see it, man.
Well, you think Van Nistelrooy can get it going?
I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know what's going to happen in this game, man. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say about it.
It is a tough one to call. It really is. It's a very tricky one to call because, both teams are really, really struggling right now.
Oh, I had something.
Lay it on me.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but Ange Postecoglou is going to get the win.
I think he's going to get a win also. It might not be 4-0. It might be 2-0. It could be, maybe it's 3-1 and Leicester hang in there and battle, but I see Spurs winning this game.
All right, Ange to win.
I do, Ange to win. That maybe can get Spurs going a little bit. They're going to play Liverpool in that League Cup semi-final in a couple of weeks. That's a big game to look forward to. Aston Villa home with West Ham. Villa lost in the Champions League this week to Monaco. West Ham, man, Graham Potter's come in there. It's been a slow start. I've got to go for a Villa win here.
Absolutely. It's just one-sided game for me.
I'm going to say 2-0 Villa.
2-0 Villa.
Yeah, pretty straightforward win. Pretty straightforward in this one. I like Villa. I think it'll be comfortable. I'm going to say 2-0.
Okay, Unai Emery's make us proud.
Yeah, Villa coming off that nice 2-2 draw with Arsenal. They really battled in that game. They did lose to Monaco. These things happen. They're still in pretty good form right now. Villa 2-0. Finishing it up. Oh, God. Fulham, Manchester United to finish out the Premier League.
And these teams as well, man. Both of these teams.
Man United. Oh, my. Capitulation against Brighton. They did beat Rangers last night in the Europa League. What do you think about the Man U situation right now?
Well, have you seen Ruben Amorim press conference? He literally said that I'm sorry to the fans that the way we're playing right now, but he knows that the fans are gonna struggle.
Yep.
But he's not gonna change the way he sees the game, or he's not gonna change the way he plays the game.
Right.
And the tactic he's gonna stick with it and go with it.
Yeah, and the players aren't good enough for his system. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, Granaucho is a player. He's an academy player. There's a lot of love for Granaucho at Man U.
Yeah.
But he just does not fit the Almarim system at all. He doesn't, and they're looking to sell him.
He's going to Napoli, I think.
Napoli, because Man U are in such a mess right now financially. They've been hemorrhaging money for years and years, and now the cupboard is bare. And so Almarim has a bunch of players that aren't his players, and they don't fit his system. What do you think about this one?
Okay, so against Fulham.
Yeah.
Fulham at Craven Cottage. Marco Silva,
yeah.
If you guys do watch our video, you guys will know that I absolutely loved him.
Yep.
This is at home as well. Fulham, make me proud.
I gotta go. Yeah.
Fulham.
I gotta go for a Fulham win as well. I'm gonna say 2-1 Fulham.
Just Fulham.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 2-1 Fulham. Almarim said after that Brighton game that this is the worst Manchester United team of all time.
Yeah.
He said that. Now,
he did.
Actually, so some statistics came out, and Man United has been a football club for 137 years, going back to the Victorian era of the 1880s. So 137 years. In their 137 years as a football club, this is the 13th worst record that they've had at this point of the season. So technically, are they the worst? I guess not. But out of 137 years, this is the 13th worst position that they've had after 22 games, which right now is 26 points. They could get sucked into a relegation battle if this continues much longer. I just don't see him winning this one.
Neither do I. So, Marco Silva.
Yep.
Make us proud.
Make us proud. So 2-1. So finishing up, what are some things that you really, really like for this weekend?
If I'm going for a parlay this weekend, I'm just gonna go for straight wins here, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, straight wins.
Manchester City to win.
Okay.
Aston Villa to win.
Okay.
Last but not least, Fulham or Man U.
God, that's a good shout. I like Fulham as well. I like Fulham. I like Villa also. I like Spurs.
I'm not touching Spurs this weekend, man.
I like Brighton as well.
You like Brighton as well?
Yeah, okay. I do. These are if I'm picking winners, the ones I really like. Liverpool as well, of course. I like Liverpool, but their odds will be very low. I do like Liverpool, of course, but I like Brighton. I like Brighton. I like Spurs. I like Villa. Fulham I like as well. Crystal Palace Brentford is a tough one to call. Really, really tough one to call. But Fulham, Villa, Spurs, Brighton. I think we can get some money out of those.
I do have some player props in this weekend.
Okay.
It's just like a funny, if you want to put in some fun bets or like just to make the game much more interesting.
Yep.
I do believe that Chris Wood is going to score.
Okay, Chris Wood. I think Cole Palmer's going to score as well.
Cole Palmer's going to score?
I do, yeah. I think Cole Palmer.
He ain't scoring.
He wants revenge against his whole team.
Okay,
I think Cole Palmer. If Cole Palmer was still at Man City, would you be happy?
Sure, man. Like Pep had a bad decision letting him go.
I know.
He's one of the best talented young players that we ever had.
I know, he's incredibly talented. All right, so let's win some money. Yep, and we'll be back soon. Like, subscribe. We love everybody out there, and place those bets.
Enjoy the game.
Adios.